fishing before dark. One of the best grayling spots that I know of is right there. Hurry up and catch a fish or we're gonna starve to death tonight. We're in the backwoods of Alaska with no food. This is day 1 of a 14-day trip. Tomorrow, we're leaving the Denali Highway. We're headed up to Delta Junction and then over to Tok, Alaska, T-O-K, Tok. And then after that, we're headed up to Chicen, the famous Chicen, Alaska. And then after that, we'll head over into the Yukon territory of Canada and we'll spend the night in the famous and historic gold rush town of Dawson City, Yukon. And I will show you everything there is to see. And then we'll turn around and head all the way back down the highway to the absolutely beautiful place called Valdez, Alaska. 14 days on the highway, all with Living My Alaska. This is day 1. So much more to come. We had a wonderful spot to camp overnight. I did some fishing and failed. I put this camera in the water and you can see the fish right there and they would not bite, and I'm angry at them. I know you're in there. We have another beautiful day on the highway. We're headed to Paxton and then up to Delta Junction today, famous little town. Let's go. We're on Denali Highway, and I think this is going to be our lunch spot. Not a bad place. Random lake on Denali Highway. Cloudy July day. What is that?
It's Christmas in July.
That is some randomness on the side of Denali Highway.
Yeah, so...
Somebody decorated a tree.
2 trees.
All right.
That's hilarious.
Somebody took the time to decorate this tree out here.
Look, there's somebody's photo in there.
Who's that? Some people? What's that say? You stay safe, I'll stay free. Oh, I like that. There's some randomness on this tree.
That's ridiculous.
Bill Bellamy and Sons, Charlotte, North Carolina. So it looks like everybody's just sort of stopped and
added a little something.
Oh, you need a pink flamingo, of course.
Of course.
I'm afraid to touch some of this. I don't know. Look, RN. Look, wife, it says registered nurse.
Yep.
It would not be so interesting but for the fact that we are in the middle of nowhere. I think we're probably 1 hour from Cantwell, which is 2 hours from nothing. And on the side of the road on the Denali Highway, scenic and gorgeous and wild. And
Christmas.
A little bit wacky. Stopping for lunch on the Denali Highway. One of the benefits, one of the many benefits of having a camper van. Refrigerator, countertop, microwave, perfectly set up, ready to use camper anytime, and a wife. That's good to have. Here's our view. A little bit windy, a little bit chilly out there on a July day. Low clouds on the horizon, beautiful lake, no one around. We haven't seen any wildlife, but we've seen lots of wild mosquitoes. The elusive wild Alaskan mosquito. All blueberry bushes around here, and this is willow. This is a young willow bush. This is what the moose absolutely love to eat. This stuff here, this is what moose live on all year, is this stuff. Sights and sounds of wild Alaska. There's nothing out here. This is as wild as it gets. In the winter it gets below 0 in here in deep snow, absolutely buried. In the summer it's generally mostly untouched. Grizzly bears, wolves, moose, caribou. This is their home. If you're watching for wildlife, if you stay out here long enough, you will see something moving. When we are reaching the end of the Denali Highway, we are in Paxton, Alaska, P-A-X-O-N, Paxton, mile marker 1 of the Denali Highway. And it's day 2 of our adventure, and from here we're headed north to the historic little town of Delta Junction. We're very glad to be back on the pavement. That is 135 miles of rough gravel road. Right in the distance there ahead of us is a glimpse of the Alaska pipeline. Famous Alaska pipeline goes from the northern slope and the Arctic Ocean all the way down to Port of Valdez. Never been up this road. The place we've never been in Alaska is about 40 miles south of Delta Junction. There is this really cool spot, one of the rare places where you can actually walk up and touch the pipeline. And it's not something you can just do anywhere. This is the Trans-Alaska Pipeline. Goes from the northern slope in the Arctic all the way down to Valdez. I'm amazed they actually have to do this and tell people don't climb on the freaking pipeline, folks. This is absolutely incredible. What an amazing thing. This is an absolutely impressive feat of engineering. Those towers you see on each side of the pipeline are for temperature regulation, which is a brilliant design. In the winter and in the summer, this ground flexes, and that's what all this is for. It's allowing the pipeline to shift and move under the ground, or on top of the ground. Crude oil began flowing through the taps in 1979. Oil production peaked in 1988. 2 million barrels of oil per day traveled through this pipeline. That is incredible. It takes about 4.5 days from Prudhoe Bay to Valdez, Alaska. Let's just have a look at the pipeline facts. 800 miles long, 48 inches around. It crosses 3 mountain ranges and over 500 rivers. It cost $8 billion in 1977 to build. Construction started in 1975, March 1975. Getting close to Delta Junction, Alaska, and this is the entrance to famous U.S. Army Fort Greely. One of the oldest roadhouses in Alaska, and definitely one of the oldest still operational, Sullivan Roadhouse, here in Delta Junction, Alaska.
The building was abandoned, and it sat there until 1997 when
Alaska's state bird, not Dawn, the mosquito. Oh, the mosquito. Delta Junction's giant mosquitoes, famous giant mosquitoes. Delta Junction, Alaska, northern terminus of the Alcan Highway. The highway was constructed World War II, military supply route, 1942. End of the Alaska Highway, 1,422 miles. And that's the famous pig. The pig is what they use to clean the Alaskan pipeline. Goes through that pipe. This is the Old Alaskan Roadhouse Museum. Sullivan Roadhouse. Really cute little campsite. Camp night number 2 on our 2-week adventure. We're in Delta Junction, Alaska, and this is the state park here in Delta Junction. What a lovely spot. Check out the big camper van in back of us. $15 per night. You pay at the front, pick whatever site you want. It's dry sites. There's no water. There's no sewer or anything fancy like that. Really cute little campsite. Every site has its own fire pit, and looks like they've packed in firewood in every spot. Vault toilets right here. So much more to share with you as we make our way around Alaska. Welcome to Chicen, Alaska.
You want to go see the chicken post office?
Yeah, I want to go see the chicken post office. The whole reason Chicen, Alaska is here is because this big machine behind us, around 1900, I suppose, this thing was put in here, and they pulled a lot of gold out of here. What's incredible is that they moved this thing in here and built it long before high technology was around, long before the modern age. How about if a beautiful old Alaskan trapper's cabin? Look at this. This is how it was built 100 years ago. Little logs. Who knows what they put in here for chinking. They did whatever they could to keep out the cold. Notice how small this door is. I'm 6 feet tall, and this door would bump my head. They would go inside, shut this door, keep themselves warm. I mean, up here it is minus 50 degrees Fahrenheit on a frequent basis, and I just cannot imagine what it was like out here to survive our winter. If they stayed out here in the winter, a lot of the miners left in winter, got out of here. Look how tiny. The tiny post office. We're in Chicen, Alaska at the post office, but there's so much more to see besides the post office. because this is a mining town, or was a mining town, famous mining town. This is why Chicen was here, because this contraption right here, this is the gold dredge. Amazing machine. Tough looking people. 1886. They're mining gold. Came up this way from Tok, Alaska this morning. We will go up the Taylor Highway this way over to Dawson City in the Yukon tomorrow. Steam boiler. This is how they would make steam to power the machinery. Big machines to get way out here. One wonders how they got them out here in the first place. This is what amazes me. I mean, you can see what's happening here. The heavy rocks and dirt go in that way, and as it goes down this way, it's basically a big sifter. Smaller and smaller.
Smaller and smaller.
Smaller and smaller. This stuff was made somewhere in the lower 48 and then shipped all the way up here to Alaska. Back in the day, there were no push buttons, there were no computers, everything was controlled mechanically. And this lever system controlled all these gears and that, and that, and that, and the steam boiler. There you go, the lever system right here, the movement of the dredge and the bucket line, the gangplank. The levers are in pairs and handwritten labels. You can push them, do it, push them. They're almost as tall as you are.
I'm
incredible. Just absolutely amazing. We're so excited to be in Chicen. We've driven a long way to get here, days. And this is just day 3 of a 14-day adventure, a big loop around the state. Halfway to Chicen, Alaska on the Taylor Highway. A beautiful sunny July day. The Taylor Highway leads through some of the earliest and richest gold mining. Traveling through history here, guys, and it is absolutely beautiful. Check out the scenery on the Taylor Highway. It's one more reason why we live in Alaska, why we own that camper van, and why we work hard to take these types of adventures and share them with you. And if you're wondering where we are in Alaska, we're right there, here at Mount Fairplay. We are headed up to Chicen. Right there. Down the road to a place my wife has wanted to come to for over a decade. Since we've moved to Alaska over a decade ago, she's wanted to go to Chicen. And so we're going to Chicen. Chicen, Alaska. But it sure is pretty.
Forest.
I know, it's the forest, she says. All right, we're gonna start walking back. We've got to make our way down the road. RV park in Chicen, Alaska. I got laid in Chicen. I got laid in Chicen. Let's go see what there is to see. Suspension bridges are always kind of fun because they're just a little bit unstable under your feet. Perfectly safe. Huge cables. Alaska is littered with remnants of history from gold mining era where there was big money and a lot of people came up this way expecting to make big money and they spent big money. And it's pretty amazing what there is here. Like in the distance there's a couple of 1950s era pickup trucks, and you wonder how they got those trucks way up here. And I have to ask right now, why in the world is there a putt-putt golf green on this hillside in Chicen, Alaska? That is the weirdest thing. That is the last thing I expected, is somebody was planning to develop, this was their get-rich plan, was a putt-putt golf green. And it looks like it never took off. One of the really interesting things about Alaska is over the last 100 years, a lot of people have come up here with really grand ideas, some grand delusions of success and big money to be made. And a lot of those were in error, like behind me, the putt-putt golf course. Just no. But they thought it was a good idea. And when they go bust up here, when they run out of money, go bankrupt, get sick, die, eaten by grizzly bears or whatever, or they just give up because of the conditions, everything they have stays behind because it's too expensive to ship anything out of here. And so it stays behind and it becomes part of the Alaskan history, like these old trucks right here from the US Air Force. Oddly enough, this old truck is probably still restorable if someone wanted to take it out of here. There's two of them. There's two of them in here, and there's enough there. The engine is there, the body is there. There's probably enough there to salvage it to make one truck out of these two and actually make it run again. But it's never going to happen. Another odd thing about Alaska is if there's an old piece of metal somewhere, somebody will put bullet holes in it. It's just what happens in Alaska. The sound of a bubbling brook in Alaska is always present and always loved and always appreciated. I do my best to not take these things for granted. And because I realized there was a time in my life where these things didn't exist every day and I didn't have access to them like we do now. It's a very special time for us. And we're very much enjoying it, and I love sharing it with you, and that's why we created Living My Alaska, for moments like this. When you're in Chicen, Alaska, and you need to use the bathroom, you take a chicken poop. Love it. Everything chicken in Chicen, Alaska. For the World Highway, middle of July, Alaska at the Canadian border. This is called Davis Dome Wayside. The border crossing is just around this corner right here, about a half mile or so. And but I wanted to stop and show you this spot, because what a stunning spot this is. We are way above the tree line, and it's a gorgeous spot. We came out of Chicen, Alaska this morning, driven about 2 hours to the Canadian border here, and it was a rough road. I got to tell you, most of it was potholed gravels, steep, narrow winding. Not only are we way up in the North Country, we are high up in the hills and the mountains on a rough gravel road headed to Dawson City in the Yukon Territory, Canada. So the rough road suddenly turns into heavenly blacktop, and not a moment too soon. We've been rattling our teeth for the last hour. Rough. But I wanted to show you something else on the back side of this sign. So it's very popular for travelers and overlanders to make little stickers like this. We don't have one at Living My Alaska yet, but we will do that pretty soon. It's time to make some stickers. But these stickers come from all over the world. Ushuaia, Alaska. Ushuaia is Argentina, way down here. And the Pan American Highway is a favorite trip amongst major adventurers. And it's 3,000 kilometers, 16,000 miles from Dead Horse at Prudhoe Bay all the way down United States, through Canada, Central America, and then South America, down to the bottom of Argentina. Absolutely incredible. Stop the Canadian border and then on to the famous Dawson City in the Yukon Territory. Very excited about that. It's absolutely stunning. What a day. We're blessed with beautiful weather to do this too, which is rare. It seems like we should see caribou out here, but I don't see any. I see a wife out there. My wife, the best wife. This is why we moved to Alaska over a decade ago, to experience places like this, and you can do this too. It's just a matter of deciding the sacrifices you'll make in your life to or trade-offs for this experience. Really remarkable. This is the Canadian border checkpoint at the top of the World Highway, about 2 hours north of Chicen, Alaska. We're headed over to Dawson City in the Yukon. So we'll just drop our passports and let them check them. Keep moving.
More of that type of road?
Yeah, more dirt road. Welcome to the Yukon. Top of the World Highway, Yukon, next stop, Dawson City. Tonight we're hoteling it. It's time. There it is, the famous Yukon River Ferry. We've been waiting to see this for a long time. Behind the white van or to the behind the silver car?
Right inside.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
They won't let us get out of the vehicle, so we have to stay on. So I can't really get film of us getting on the ferry. We're crossing the Yukon River on the George Black Ferry. Check it out. Thanks, guys. And that's right. Welcome to Dawson City, Yukon territory. You're looking at Dawson City Downtown Hotel, camper van parked right there. And it's just a beautiful place. It's a July evening. We are far from nowhere. This is days of driving in the Yukon to get here, and this is our hotel for the night. We've been on the road for days, and it was time to get out of the van and get a hot shower and a warm bed to sleep in. Lots of little hotels, you can see. We'll be spending some time exploring this incredible place, soaking in the atmosphere. And Dawson City is the perfect reward for the rough road that we've traveled. So this should be an epic view. This is something called Midnight Dome just outside of Dawson City in the Yukon. And yes, I see world-class views from up here. Wow, secrets out. Not just us. I put the parking brake on. Oh, if you were afraid of heights, this is not the place for you.
The locals tell me that they do a solstice party up here every year and watch the sun just barely dip behind the mountain and come right back up because it's pretty much 24 hours of sunlight in the midsummer, just like Alaska.
We are right here. That's Alaska, Chicen this way, Dawson City, and the Yukon. Fantastic. This is the Palace Grand Theater, opened in 1899. It was hugely successful. And what's amazing is that picture is that building, and it's still here. I'm gonna back up and give you a better look. Look at this place, built in 1899 in Dawson City, Yukon territory. Folks, we are in the middle of nowhere. It's amazing what they built here over 100 years ago. The spell of the Yukon. I wanted the gold, and I sought it. I scrabbled and mucked like a slave. Was it famine or scurvy? I fought it. I hurled my youth into a grave. I wanted the gold, and I got it. Came out with a fortune last fall, yet somehow life's not what I thought, and somehow the gold isn't all. If you like this video, this is just one in a series of many. We're going on a 14-day tour around the northern tip of Alaska. And if you love this video, come with me right now and I'll show you what happens on the other side of the Canadian border with Living by Alaska. Let's go.
Klondike Loop, over 500 miles of some of the most remote highway in North America, connecting Alaska to the heart of the Yukon Territory. We're taking our camper van from Dawson City down to Whitehorse and back to Tok, Alaska. We see wild elk, massive cinnamon buns, and a Nordic spa in the middle of nowhere. This is Living by Alaska.
Well, looks like there's an elk in the middle of the road. I'm gonna try it when I get close. Stick your head out the window and get the bull feeding. He doesn't seem to care about us at all, does he?
Famous Brayburn Lodge. This is a destination for many. They are famous for their giant cinnamon rolls. Seen its better days. But we gotta go check it out. Famous
The destination is on your left.
cinnamon
Brayburn Lodge.
buns.
Arrived.
We'll see if they have any left.
Oh, doors are open. Let's go see. We've loaded up on giant cinnamon buns from a place called Brayburn Lodge on the Klondike Highway. We're headed to a hot springs tonight, but right now
Look at this.
it's that.
This is how big it is.
It's pretty tasty, dude.
Like, it is as big as my face. And we've already eaten some of it. And we're gonna eat a little bit more.
It's a good time. Just saw some elk right outside the lodge. It's just after 7 p.m. July 11th, 2025. And we're headed from Dawson City, Yukon Territory, down to near Whitehorse tonight to a campground and a hot springs. We're completing the Klondike Loop. Good stuff? All right, I want some too. I gotta put this camera down. See y'all soon. I'm super excited because we're headed to a hot spring tonight. What's the name of the hot spring, honey?
Eclipse.
Eclipse. What is this? Day 5 of our 14-day journey? Day 6? I've lost count. I don't even know.
We had a wonderful time and a wonderful stay at the Eclipse Hot Springs, where the water was nice and warm and the rest was much needed for our last leg of our journey, the trip down the famous Alcan Highway and across Destruction Bay.
Destruction Bay. Check out this view. Absolutely incredible. There's our little camper van. And she looks small compared to this landscape. That's a very sheepy looking mountain right there. I'm sure there's wild sheep up there.
Frosty milkshake.
Frosty milkshake from the Frosty in Haines Junction, Alaska on a beautiful summer mid-July day. And we're headed back to Alaska today. And I'm so excited to be back in our home state. But we have a long way to go. And some really nice scenery on the way. Yeah?
Yep.
All right, let's get going.
Yeah. Where have we been? Denali Highway, Toke, Chicen, Dawson City, Springs, and Whitehorse. And so this is day 6. And this will be night number 6, and we'll spend that back in Toke. And by the way, that will complete the Klondike Loop.
Yep.
Outstanding. Yay. Okay, get to the border soon. Creek. This is Beaver Creek, Canada. It's one of the last places you'll see before you cross back in the United States. So we're going around the Canadian border office here. And we've traveled through some really, really rough roads today on our way home. And so I guess we have about maybe 20 miles to the Alaska border. Very excited about that.
Yes.
We're back.
U.S. border, but
Yeah, the Alaska-U.S. border. And we're back in our home country of Alaska.
almost. So now we're in no man's land right now,
Yeah, pretty much.
right?
Yeah. I don't know why I'm not sure why the border crossings are so far apart. But it's like this, that's the Canadian border crossing, and then you go and the United States border crosses way over here. The Alaska border is very close. Customs 1,000 feet. We are here, honey. We made it. Made it back to Alaska. I'm so excited. Wow. It is 6 p.m. Toke and Eagle. This is where we started. Right here. Yeah, that's where we went north. So we officially have completed the loop, love. That's the Taylor Highway. We did it.
High five.
That's fantastic. We're headed to the Roadhouse to celebrate, have a steak, maybe a beer. We're gonna boondock it tonight. More adventure tomorrow with Living My Alaska.
Fast Eddie's Roadhouse, Toke, Alaska. This is the place to be if you ever come through Toke and you're headed out to other points in Alaska. This is the place to go for some breakfast, and if you need a hotel, this is one of the better spots. What you got there, pretty wife? New York strip? Yeah, the Fast Eddie's Roadhouse. 10 hours on the road today. Guinness beer and steak.
If you like this video, go check out the entire playlist. I've created an entire playlist from this epic adventure, multiple days of adventure, multiple days of van camping and scenery and wild animals and historic gold rush towns in Alaska and Yukon territory. Let's go to that next video right now. Join me on that playlist with Living My Alaska.